Okay, now we're going to move on to a skill that's an important part of the game, even though I wasn't asked to do it too many times in my career.
I was, many times.
Well, maybe you're more qualified to talk about it than I am.
Maybe I am. Bunting. We don't advocate a lot of bunting at the youngest ages. That's the time when kids should swing the bat and learn how to hit. However, it's a skill that can be taught at a young age and should be practiced and perfected by all hitters as they get older. Being able to bunt well makes you a more valuable member of your team. We're going to discuss 3 types of bunts. The sacrifice.
As this one is bunted down the third base line. Bill Miller with
The squeeze.
Squeeze is on! The Brewers win!
And bunting for a hit.
Bunt attempt, first base side, a beauty. Carrasco shovels the first, not in time.
I think it would be a good idea to teach the finer points of bunting at home plate. Let's take a walk.
All right. Okay, boys, we're going to talk a little bit about bunting. First and foremost, we're going to talk about the sacrifice bunt a little bit. So there's a couple things I want to talk about when we're sacrifice bunting. First thing I'm doing is I'm getting into my stance. I'm not going to try to change a whole lot because that might alarm people out there that I might be doing something. But let it be known, in a sacrifice bunting situation, pretty much everybody in the ballpark knows that I'm going to be bunting. The idea is to execute, and if I execute properly, no matter if they know it's coming, I'm still going to get the job done. Okay, so there's a couple rules we want to talk about when we bunt. First thing I'm going to talk about is after I'm in my stance, is I like to teach when we're going to bunt, before that pitcher actually picks up his foot, or right as he picks up his foot, I'm going to go ahead and pivot around and put myself in a bunting situation. I'm not bunting for a base hit. A sacrifice bunt means I'm giving myself up, okay? So I don't care if they know I'm bunting because I'm going to execute. So what I want to do is pivot around. Now if you notice, I shortened up with my bottom hand up a little bit on the bat. It's your comfort zone. I've also brought my top hand up here on the barrel of the bat, and I've protected my fingers behind the bat. If you notice where my bat head is, my bat head is above my hands, and that's very important to get the ball to go down. Worst thing we can do is pop up that bunt. The guy on first can't run, catcher has an option to come out here, let it drop, try to get a double play. Okay, so it's very important. The barrel of the bat has to be above the hands. Where else is the barrel of the bat? It's out in front of home plate. I want to bunt a fair ball. I want to give myself up. Okay, the easiest way for me to bunt a fair ball is to get my bat head and my bat out in front of home plate. It gives me more room to work with. Okay, I've set up a couple cones here. Well inside the line, I want to make a good bunt. I want to make fielders come in and off in order to make a play. If the pitcher has to come off that mound at a 45-degree angle this far, and I try to make the ball stop out here where my cones are, he'll never be able to pick that up and throw to second base. Okay, so what I want to do, give myself up. I want to deaden the ball somewhere around where those cones are. Okay, make the fielders come a long way to make the play. They'll never be able to throw to second base and get the guy. They may be able to get me at first base. That's okay, it's a sacrifice bunt. I'm giving myself up for the good of the club. So I'm going to demonstrate a couple here, see if Cal can throw me some strikes. But remember, I'm in my stance. I didn't do a whole lot to change. I'm going to pivot around. The barrel of the bat's above my hands. My hands are in this position. My right hand, my top hand's protected, and my bat is out in front of home plate. I'm going to try to bunt a few balls over there, see if I can't stop them inside those cones right there. I pivot early. I'm giving myself up. The barrel stays above my hands. I can roll that ball right through the cones. Now I'm going to try to deaden it a little bit more to make it stop at the cones. Pivot, hands out front. Okay, did you notice what happened right there? That ball was a little bit lower, and instead of me going like this to bunt it, I dropped my legs down to bunt. That enabled my bat head to stay high. Okay, I'm going to do one more to third base. Pivot around, I'm giving myself up. That's a ball. We don't want to bunt balls. Now it's 1-0. I was the type of hitter who liked to hit and run. I can look at my manager now and say, you want to think about it? No? Sack bunt again? Damn. All right, got to bunt again. Give myself up. Right through the cones. Third baseman comes in, he's not going to be able to wheel around and throw it to second base and get my guy out. If I want to push the ball to the right side, once again, I do everything the same, but what I do now is I use this bottom hand as my rudder. It's like a ship's rudder, I'm kind of pushing it out. The barrel stays up, and I'll try to push the ball over to the right side. Bat angle stays the same, barrel above the hands, bat in front of home plate. I'm in this position, use the rudder, put the bunt down. That was a tough one right there. Out in front, keeping the barrel of the bat above the hands. Let's try one more over there. Didn't get him between the cones, but I think I was soft enough where the pitcher can't run in and pick it up and get my guy out at second base. All right, Troy, I need you for a minute. I want you to come in here and see if you can't demonstrate the bunt right there. Remember the big things. Give yourself up early. Pivot around. Bat stays out in front of home plate. Barrel of the bat in front of the hands. I want to see you bunt 2 balls in between those cones right there. I tell you what, that's a real dead bunt right there. There's no way in the world they're getting him out at second base. All right, hold on 1 second, Troy, back out just a minute. What I want you to think about is when you pivot around, you're doing a lot of things right. Your angle's good, you're putting the ball in this plane. If we point this bat towards the pitcher and then just kind of keep it there and catch it, let's see what happens. I'm gonna try to overcompensate you. I want you to bunt a ball right down the third base line. See if you can do that. Once you pivot out here, keep the bat pointing to the pitcher. Pretend you want to catch it right there on the head of the bat. Drive it through those 2 cones right there. All right, it's not a bad effort. Now, let's talk about these 2 cones over here on the first base side. Remember, the barrel stays out. This left hand moves like a rudder. See if we can push a couple. Okay. Now, do me one little favor. I like your direction. Don't punch at it so much, okay? Just try to catch it. See how soft you can get it. I want to see if you can make it die right here. Very nicely done. Now we're going to touch a little bit on